Welcome back. It's once again time to unlearn what you have learned. And today, we already know what's going on with the Sydney Sweeney thing. I, you know what? I'm black, and I don't see any issue. I don't know what is going on. Besides maybe the people who aren't fit, that might be a little bit jealous or something like that. I don't know, but I feel like this is someone else just kind of pushing that same narrative, the same narrative of racism and everything else. Now, here's the other thing I've noticed too. It's a whole mix up. And this is what the fireman does. I call him the fireman, Satan, Lucifer, you know, uh, not the morning star, but the son of the morning. A lot of people don't know that one either. That's in the Bible. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and play this just to I haven't really watched it, so I'm gonna watch it right now, and then I got something else for you after this that explains the racism and the culture and whatever else and so on and so forth. Because this dude breaks it down and he cooks on it. So let's go ahead and just go.
I'm not here to tell you to buy American Eagle jeans. And I definitely won't say that they're the most comfortable jeans I've ever worn. Or that they make your butt look amazing. Why would I need to do that? But if you said that you want to buy the jeans, I'm not going to stop you. But just so we're clear, this is not me telling you to buy American Eagle jeans.
Sydney Sweeney has very jeans.
You see what I did there, right?
Okay, that is great advertising. That is a great commercial. I don't see nothing wrong with it. Nothing. Not one thing. So there you have it right there. But for some reason, people are pulling all kinds of crazy junk. This, and if it's about the girl and how she looks and everything else, like I said, Levi's, Wrangler, Tommy Hilfiger, all these other stuff. There's been plenty. I mean, heck, if that's the case, you might as well attack Victoria's Secret, right? Oh no, you ain't gonna do that. You ain't gonna do that. You ain't gonna do that. You want to celebrate rainbows and unicorns and all that other junk. So you know what I'm saying? You can go ahead and do that. And no offense to you, LGBTQ, LMNOC, whatever you want to call it. Y'all do what y'all do. I don't care. But I don't think I should have it stuffed down my throat. And let's just explain the situation now. The whole rainbow situation, it has been around for a long time. It's just that they didn't put a stamp on it. Now they put a stamp on it. They want to be more accepted, so on and so forth. But that's a whole different story. But it could fall into this too. So if you want to know about the racism part, listen to this guy. He's a comedian, and he breaks it down because once again, the whole situation comes up about reparations and stuff like that. And people are like, oh, we shouldn't be doing that. Well, you know what? Everybody else has got theirs. The people that were even from this country, when Hitler was doing his thing, and then those people came over here, had nothing to do with this country. The people who are coming to this country now from, other freaking god awful places, and bless their souls that they were able to get away from that. But now they come over here and they're feeling quite comfortable. But anyways, that's a whole different story. You know what it is. Let's listen to this guy, Godfrey. He's a comedian, and let's let him cook. Let's let him cook.
Would I love every black person in this country to get $1 million check and 100 acres of land? Absolutely. Are they owed that amount? 100%, if not more. Black people who would get that,
yeah,
it would bankrupt the whole country.
For the people that built the country to make you that fuck money, all of a sudden now you worried about being bankrupt when you spend trillions of dollars on defense, trillions of dollars on unnecessary, trillions of dollars to send black men, especially to jail, trillions of dollars to drug the fuck up our whole country, trillions of dollars to fuck the food up, to fuck air up, to fuck the water up, trillions of dollars to make people sicker and sicker and sicker and sicker in this country. But you mad? We don't have the money because plain and motherfucking simple, you do not like black people. It is very obvious. For hundreds of years, we've been the most hated. Within that hatred comes the hypocrisy of loving our culture. You've made trillions off of our motherfucking culture. White musicians, all of them, have made money off of black fucking culture, all of rock, all of jazz, all the shit we created from the oppression, which is in itself. The oppression and the fucking abuse and the rape and the putting down of us, we create blues, jazz, rock and roll, reggae, ska. We invent all of that shit. And to top it off, we invent all the mod that you all use. From the video game cartridge, Henry Lawson. We got the pacemaker, Otis Boynton. We have the late Dr. Bath, who created the laser eye surgery. We have Dr. Gladys, who's still alive, who's almost 80 years old, who created GPS. We have the guy who created the algorithm for Instagram, who's a 21-year-old Ghanaian kid. We've done all this. Then the internet was discovered by a Nigerian guy in the 80s. Like, we've done all of this innovation, even though we've been shit on and continue to be shit on every motherfucking day, right? Because nobody wants us to live anywhere. Nobody wants us to have this unless we're playing sports for them athletically or sexually satisfying. All black people are good for. We're supposed to be at people's beck and fucking call when they want us to entertain them or make them some kind of money. But if we ask for being autonomously wealthy on our own, being autonomously having our own shit, all of a sudden everybody pitches everybody has a fucking hissy fit. You don't want us in your neighborhood. You don't want us in your schools. You don't want us doing anything. But then when we say, hey, okay, that's cool, because Muhammad Ali said, hey, man, I think we should have our own state. I don't want to live amongst you.
Okay, I have to stop it right there because I know people will say, well, actually, that's true. If you look at the situation with Malcolm X and the Nation of Islam, they had all that. They had their own stores. They had their own community. They were building. They were making money and so on and so forth. And they were gaining power, which, once again, is why Malcolm X ended up being assassinated by his own people. As they turned against each other. And this is where the situation starts. People don't understand is why black people are the way black people are right now is because of all that oppression, all those different things. All those things were set up. And people say, oh, you can't make excuses for, this and that. And, you have to have accountability. Yes, that's very true. But you also have to realize is that back in the the 60s and the 70s, that's when this stuff was starting to be implemented. The drugs in our community, the liquor stores were owned by Japanese, Chinese people, whatever. You look at the Black Panther Party, it's the same thing. They dismantled every single thing that we had that would give us strength, community, and a future. They took that away. So they pretty much set it up to where, we don't have to do it. We'll just let them do it to themselves. And then at the same time, they'll get blamed for it, which honestly, yes, we have our own minds. We have our own our own tools, our own ways of thinking, and so on and so forth. We should be able to do that. And there's plenty of us that do. But the ones who don't are still stuck in that matrix. They're still stuck in that situation. And you'll never understand it until you're actually there. But anyways, let them cook.
Like, well, why not? You don't want us around. You're segregating everything. And then as soon as we want to go, white people start panicking. We don't want to be around you, so you can call us We're tired of white cops shooting us. We're tired of this pissing contest that these white cops have because they're afraid of black dicks for some reason. Because most of this shit, black dick envy. We're tired of that shit. So what about this? Why don't we just give us what you owe us and we can go on and do our own shit? But no, they don't want that. White folks especially hate autonomous black happiness. They do not like when we are by ourselves doing our own shit. They cannot stand that. They don't even like us in a group. Whites always got to have their hand in our shit. And if they're not part of it, then we're back to being.
I'm sorry, I got to pause it again because what he's saying is true. Now, it's not all white people. That's not, it's only the ones that are in power. And the ones that are in power, especially the ones who are black and, other people who are, basically different, different nationalities instead, instead of black or instead of white, these people sell out to the whole situation, not even realize because you got money don't mean that you're not still black. I mean, OJ said it the best. OJ was like, I'm not black, I'm OJ. See, because he put himself around those same people and they accepted him because he had the money. But in the long run, he was still a ninja, plain and simple. Let him cook. Oops.
Spoons and spades and all this.
Would I love every black person in this country to get $1 million check and 100 acres of land? Absolutely. Are they owed that amount? 100%, if not more. Black people who would get that, it would bankrupt the whole country.
For the people that built the country to make.
Okay, so that was it right there. But, either way, Racism, it still exists. It even exists, against all races, not just black people. Some people don't like Mexicans, some people don't like Chinese people, some people don't like Japanese people. It goes on and on and on. Black people, some black people think that they can't be racist, not even understanding how retarded that sounds because the definition of racism. So I'll put it this way. My wife, a long time ago, when she was younger, she traveled down to the South, and her family was completely treated like crap. Now I don't know the whole story because I wasn't there, but the fact of the matter is I know my wife, and how she was treated was not acceptable, especially because the fact she didn't even do anything besides being white. Same thing. See, once again, you can understand it when you're going through it. You can understand the situation. Now, like I say, it's not like this all the time. It's, being black is mostly acceptable and so on and so forth. But it's the narrative that gets played out. And once again, we're back at that same that same narrative. That same narrative is to keep us fighting against each other. That's it. That's it. We're just continuously fighting against each other, bickering. This is the devil's work. He is the one that causes confusion. His job is to steal, kill, and deceive. And that's exactly what he does. That's exactly what he does. That's what he's doing right now. But once again, if people are not going to just stay in the neutral zone and look at the whole picture, you're going to keep running into the same situation. And they're going to keep playing it because you keep falling for it. But anyways, I'm out. Tell me what you think. Peace.